Omar, so how was it for you playing a role that might have been slightly out of your comfort zone, maybe not?
Yes, it was. It was. It was. It was. But it was kind of challenge after Untouchable to take like a kind of challenge to have a character like that, very far from me, with the African accent. So it was more work, but I wanted to do that to prove myself. After the César, I was a real actor, so I wanted to have a challenge, and it was a pleasure to do it with Eric and Olivier because it's a kind of family. So I'm really I have the confidence with them, and I trust them. So to take the challenge, it was better to do it with them. And for this story, for this character, for these topics, it was the right time for me.
How does Samba Cisse's journey mirror your own in some sense? You came from France maybe, 10 years ago to be an actor here?
Yeah.
And people are definitely embracing you. But how is your journey very similar and maybe in some sense not similar?
It's not similar because Samba came from Senegal to France and he lived in France for 10 years. And I was born and raised in France, so it's a big difference. We don't know, but it's a big difference for me. Working on the street, it's easy and natural. And for a guy like Samba, it's really difficult, and he can leave his house and maybe never coming back. Because if he's arrested by cops, it's directly back to Senegal. So that make a big difference. And all the sacrifices somebody did on his life is more big than mine. And so that's a difference. But the similarity is Samba is from Senegal, and my parents come from Senegal. And Samba has a like kind of the value Samba has, I has mine because of the Senegalese culture, and I think that's the similar thing, and maybe the way he tried to make his life better. I try to do the same.
Well, in the film too, Samba and also Alice find a lot of identity from their jobs, both very different jobs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering for you as an actor, how do you find your identity in between projects? Because I know that's a very rough time for a lot of actors.
Yeah.
So where do you find your self-worth and identity in between projects?
Between projects, it's just my family and my friends. My parents, my brother and sister, my wife, my kids. That's me. So I find my it's in life, just being a husband, a father, being a brother and a son.
Staying grounded in things that are outside of Hollywood. Okay.
Exactly.
And I think you said previously that coming to America, you've been offered roles that you were never offered in France. How are they different?
It's different because of the type of movies, like X-Men or Jurassic World. This kind of type of movies I can't do in France. Like to have a character, kind of superhero, I can't do that in France. That's the type of genre I can't do in France. And also the directors I work with in US, they're not working in France. So that's the difference. And for me as an actor, I learned a lot with Eric and Olivier, that they're the first director making me acting. So I have my way to connect in a project is the director. So I love meeting directors. So the directors I met here was a good experience for me, make me grow as an actor. So I hope it will be continue.
Right. So many beautiful things about the film, and it does take you on a ride. It shows a lot of humor and appreciating the little good parts of life, despite Samba's, grim future. You don't know how it turns out.
Yeah.
For you, again, going back to acting and you as Omar, how do you remain upbeat and find humor in things, even though LA, I'm sure, is a different world than France in some ways. How do you find those humorous moments where you're dancing, even though maybe life is uncertain?
But it's that's why I love samba, because for me samba is it's the real life. It's a movie, but it shows the real life. And for me, the more is dramatic, the more you have to use humor to move on. And I grew up like that. I started as a comedian because humor for me is a wonderful weapon, and humor is the shortest way between two people. When you want to connect with someone, humor is the fast way to connect. So I use humor all the time. It's part of my personality, and it's the same for Eric and Olivier, the directors. That's why we love working and being together, because we have that communication with humor. And I think when you talk about a subject like immigration or the burnout, it's easier to talk about it with a little bit of humor. And they used to say it's the champagne bubbles.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Do you remember the first time as a child someone saying to you, wow, you're funny? Like, what moment was that? Were you using it in a way to turn a situation around?
No, I can't remember because it's a long time ago. But I know it's a thing I do since maybe the beginning, maybe the beginning. I can't remember when the first time someone said that, but I remember when I met a crowd laughing. I was probably 12 years old. It was in a classroom, and I remember that feeling.
What was the feeling? What was it like?
It was like, being yourself, just being yourself and find your way, and just have the feeling to connect with people. We are all in the same, the same, we had all the same connection, all the class together. We were connected. I love when we make people connecting. That's why today I do movies and a movie like that, because I want people connect together. Especially today in France, I think people need to connect and meet each other to maybe have a better France.
How is humor universal, even if people don't speak the same language?
How? You always find something. There's always at the end, when you can't find the good joke, there's always the body language.
Sure. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Right. Or making light of a situation
Yeah.
just with body language.
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you.
Thank you very
Appreciate it.
much. Thank you.